Hello, Carlita. Thank you for coming in today.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
So today we're going to go over the results to the two assessments that you filled out, which were the Beck Anxiety Inventory and the Beck Depression Inventory. I do want to first start out by saying that this is a training experience, so in no way should you take these results as a valid clinical assessment.
Okay.
Do you have any questions about the assessments or anything before we get started?
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, we're going to first talk about how these were scored. So you filled out for the depression inventory a total of 21 questions, and you can rate them from anywhere from 0 to 3. So what we do with these questions is we take the total score from each question, and then that is how your rating is determined. So you scored on the depression inventory a total of 12. And according to the inventory itself, that means you have a mild mood disturbance. So you circled a lot of zeros and ones. I did not really see any 2s or 3s separated. So you were just kind of in the mild area for the depression. Do you have any questions on this inventory?
Well, there were some questions that wasn't kind of like a definite 0 or a definite 1. They were kind of iffy in between. Okay. So those are the ones that I scored a 0 on. But then there were some questions that was like a definite 1 or a definite 2. That's how I am most of the time.
Okay. I think as long as you answered the questions to the best of your knowledge and your ability, it pretty much gives you an accurate assessment of where you are. And this is something that can be taken throughout the counseling session to rate where you are on the depression scale.
Okay.
So moving along to the Beck Anxiety Inventory, very similar to the Depression Inventory. What we do is there is a total of 21 items here, and there's different rating scales. 1 is not at all, mildly, but it does not bother me much. Moderately, it wasn't pleasant at times, or severely, it bothered me a lot. So you kind of just check those off. Some of the questions were feeling high, unable to relax. So you checked off where you were on those, and there is a rating scale that is provided by the inventory. And you actually scored a total of 12. So you only checked 1 that said severely, but there was a pretty equal mix of mildly or not at all. So we consider that as low anxiety. There were a couple that said moderately, but those were only about 2 that you scored on that. So you would be, for a number 12, you would be categorized as low anxiety. So for both the depression and the anxiety inventory, you scored fairly low on both inventories. Do you have any questions about, again, if you answer to the best of your ability on the Beck Anxiety Inventory, that could give you an accurate description of where you are anxiety-wise. Do you have any questions on this inventory?
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming in today. This will give us some starting goals on kind of where to work on, and where to target behaviors or thoughts that might be bothersome to you. So we'll continue in our sessions, and we'll start working on these things.
I do have one question. So based on the inventory, you said those are like starting places. So do you start where I scored like high, or is that how you come up with the goals that I'm going to be working on?
Well, I mean, treatment goals, we come up with those together. Oh. So it's whatever, you might feel be the highest thing that's bothering you. And that could be something that you checked, and that could be something that, wasn't addressed on one of these assessments. Like I said, they're both only about roughly 21 questions. So obviously it's not going to capture everything, but it gives us a good starting point to work off of.
So we will address other areas that aren't captured in the inventory.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate you filling out these assessments, and it was a pleasure speaking with you.
And thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.